Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So we'll be looking at this, and it's about U.S. Appeals Court Block Grant Program for Black Women-Owned Business. And I remember that we talked about something like this last year, and as at that time, they decided to go to court because they were like, how are you supposed to block grant that was for Black women-owned businesses, entrepreneurs, right? So they took the case to court. And as at, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, and the court grants, like the grant program for Black women business owner is discriminatory according to appeal court rules. And the truth is that they will not be getting any grant anymore, and it's been ruled and all that. A lot of people are not finding that funny, because why is it that each time people that look like me look for a way to to rise up or to do something great for themselves, they look for a way to bring it down? And you all already know that DEI is already it's already tampered, right? So a lot of people are coming up to weigh on this and also looking for a way to see what Black women can do about this. But trust me, you all already know how it goes. And the fact that some people decided that affirmative action was not just only favoring, it was only favoring Black people, not knowing that they were the ones getting it more. Let's get into this.
Today and tonight. But this next story that I'm going to show you that Dr. Richie is covering, it is a story about affirmative action and how when these Asian, certain people from the Asian community decided to join this lawsuit, they were used, first off, how their fight to overturn affirmative action is hurting other people within the minority communities, and it's really hurting Black women in the way that Black women want to uplift each other, and it's sad. This is sad in so many ways, and I just want to say to that group of Asians who joined that lawsuit, what did you gain from it? What did you gain from it? Because affirmative action helped you. And you hurt your own community. Meanwhile, you hurt the community who fought for affirmative action. What did it get you? What did it get you? Anyway, here's the story. I know I rambled on a little too long, but here's the story. And please make sure you share this story, and then please try to get with this organization and try to work with these Black women to figure out how they can accomplish the goal that they have set out to do.
Blocks grant program for Black women. Told you this was coming, right? We had a whole conversation about it, interviewed a young lady about this right here on Indisputable. So according to The Root, there has been another blow to affirmative action efforts nationwide. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit has stopped the Atlanta-based Fearless Fund from administering $20,000 to Black women business owners. The decision was made on Monday, June 3rd, following ongoing opposition to the Fearless Fund, spearheaded by conservative activist Edward Bloom, who insisted that the program is likely racially discriminatory. Black women receive less than 1% of the $215 billion administered in venture capital funding last year, even though they are the #1 growing demographic of business owners in America. After the Supreme Court abolished race-conscious college admissions last year, Bloom, a staunch opponent of affirmative action, decided to go after it in a private sector manner. However, U.S. District Court Judge Thomas Thrash Jr., who was appointed by President Bill Clinton, initially ruled that the Fearless Fund's grant program was the kind of free speech protected under the First Amendment. However, the 11th Circuit panel disagreed. With 2 out of the 3 judges being appointed by Trump, the Fearless Fund is currently evaluating their options, but this has certainly set precedent for similar venture capital funds going forward. the rights attempts to eradicate DEI programs in corporate America. The appeals court ultimately disagreed with the federal judge who ruled in September that the lawsuit was unlikely to prevail based on the First Amendment. Now, let me say this. When the affirmative action hearing came down, when the affirmative action ruling came down from the U.S. Supreme Court, I wrote an op-ed about it. I encourage you to go to that op-ed when you can. Because in the op-ed, I'm not only arguing against the conservative or conservatives, especially Clarence Thomas, who wrote a summary that wasn't even a summary. I've also had to make an argument against progressives who agreed with the ruling. You see, that's a checker move when you agree with your opponents on oppressive policies.
These people aren't progressives.
But we're playing chess. Politics is a game of chess. Checkers, you use power to gain position. In chess, you use position to gain power. And I said, this ruling positions our country to eliminate all equity and inclusion programs, from scholarships to grants and everything else. I put it right in the language of the op-ed. Sometimes we think things are cause and effect. Sometimes things are more so energetic reactions that continue to happen over and over and over again. All right, put him on full mask. Alfonso David, President and CEO of the Global Black Economic Forum and the attorney. He's an attorney representing the Fearless Fund. God bless him. Released a statement about the court's decision. Quote, the majority ruled that an 1866 law designed to provide economic freedom to newly freed slaves actually prohibits the Fearless Foundation from providing grants to black women. We disagree. As the dissenting judge pointed out, discrimination in access to funding, the Fearless Foundation seeks to address is long-standing and irrefutable. The statement continued, this is the first court decision in the 150-year history of the post-Civil War civil rights that has halted private charitable support for any racial or ethnic group. The dissenting judge, district court, and other courts have agreed with us that these types of claims should not prevail. This is not the final outcome of this case. It is a preliminary ruling without full factual record. We are evaluating our options. And listen, if you want to change some things, make sure you are involved, all right? Because they coming. They are coming. Okay, sharing thoughts here.
And this is what I mean by you have to get involved in local elections. And for all of you people who say that you don't do politics or you don't follow politics, this is the type of thing that happens when we don't get involved. Now here it is that a racist white man had already tried this case. He lost. They went to a think tank and all of him and his rich buddies got together and they decided to go and grab a couple of Asians. That felt like that the reason why they didn't get into the school of their choice was because of affirmative action, or that black people had taken their spot. So that group signed on to this case. That group is responsible for overturning affirmative action, which opened up the door for DEI programs to be abolished. And now, programs for black women are being stopped. What gets me is whenever I hear Republicans or others, especially Republican voters and those that stand on the side of racism, is when they talk about civil rights. And I had a conversation with somebody and they were talking about, well, my civil rights. I said, you mean the same civil rights that you were trying to undermine, the same civil rights that you were trying to destroy? So on one end, you're talking about your civil rights have been violated, but then on the other end, you're talking about that how the civil rights laws should be abolished. So which one is it? You can't have it both ways, because if you get rid of the civil rights laws that were fought for, those civil rights laws that you think protects the black community, you guys get to enjoy more than we do. It protects y'all more than anything. And that's the sad part when you like that's the crazy part when you're talking to Republicans. They want the civil rights laws that were fought for, but then they want to destroy those civil rights laws because they think that we get to enjoy those laws and those laws are protecting us. But the laws are actually protecting them more than it is us. So, congratulations to that group of Asians who signed on to be a part of this lawsuit. And as I said earlier, what did it get you? Did you still get to get into your school of choice? And that's the sad part about it. Many of them had already they've gotten their degrees and they're working in their field. But they're still pissed off because they didn't get into the school of their choice. Do you know how many people didn't get into the school of their choice? There's a lot of people didn't get into the school of their choice. But because y'all wanted to sign on and think that you have been treated wrong and you have been wrong and you let this con artist come and con you in, you have destroyed DEI programs that benefit not just black people, but all people of minority races. So congratulations. Congratulations. Now you're not having any protections in your job. Now you're damn sure not going to get into your college of choice. Neither will your kids get into the college of their choice. So congratulations on not only hurting younger generations because you were so butthurt because you didn't get into the college of your choice.
Federal Appeals Court approves injunction to block grant for black women entrepreneurs. A U.S. federal appeals court has granted a conservative group's request to temporarily block a black-owned venture capitalist firm from awarding grants exclusively to black women entrepreneurs. Okay, let's talk about it. Because surprise, surprise, it's the American Alliance for Equal Rights that started this whole motion for an injunction on Saturday, which temporarily halted the Fearless Fund, a black women-owned venture capitalist firm, and its foundation from awarding its Fearless Drivers grant exclusively to black women. If you remember, the American Alliance for Equal Rights is the same group led by the same white man that used Asian American citizens as their Trojan horse to go through and dismantle affirmative action in education. So now that you have some of the facts and context, let's talk about it. Now, y'all remember when Roe v. Wade got overturned, and a lot of women helped that happen, by the way, white ones specifically. We had this conversation afterwards, and black women were screaming from our rooftops that this will be the trickle down that leads to other people losing their rights. And y'all told us that we were crazy. Black women, remember when we told y'all that when y'all were comfortable with trans people, trans children, and trans women having their right to bodily autonomy stripped away from them, that this would lead to other things, and more conscious people like myself and others were telling you that you cannot be comfortable with this injustice because an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere? But y'all said we were crazy. What we are seeing now is a consequence of y'all actions. This is what happens when you are comfortable with people having their rights stripped away because you do not agree that they deserve to have what they have. Especially when the thing you're arguing against them having is basic human rights. Because while y'all are out here debating back and forth about who can say cis or wear box braids, the white men are out here creating groups that claim to be for equal rights but seem to only be taking rights away from black people. And I'm going to tug on y'all white girls tape-ins for a minute as well. Because don't get it twisted. Y'all watching black women have things taken away from us because we are black won't spare you when these men come for your things because you are a woman. And I know y'all see them coming because you're really mad about how they're coming for no-fault divorces. Y'all see that these men are really trying to put y'all right back into that enslaved position. You know, the one that you were comfortable other people being in, just not you. Oh, and y'all kangs out here, don't get cocky. Because I know y'all are still pressed ever since Goldman Sachs was out here running us some coins as black women entrepreneurs. But let's just be clear. Your United Negro College Fund is in jeopardy. Your NAACP awards are at risk. Don't play yourselves. You're still a... White men in America know that they have never been at an advantage unless they put other people at a disadvantage. They are not trying to even the playing field so everyone has an equal shot. They are just putting everyone back underneath them so that they can be the only ones that make it across the finish line. While white men are using their power and influence to maintain their position at the top, black men are out here fighting with you as black women over a table in which you bring to it that they can't afford either way. And white women are still expecting you to serve them first at your table before you have anything for yourself. Black scholarships are at risk now. HBCUs even existing could be at risk now, even though they only exist because y'all didn't let us into white institutions. Like, the audacity of white men in America to say that they are promoting equality by denying people the right to things that they have anyway. Like, mark my words. Mark my words. This is going to go through, and it is going to create a precedent for these people to stop all minorities, BIPOC people from having anything, women from having anything, disabled people from having anything, unless they want us to have it. Much like a slave master.
Recently, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals halted the Fearless Fund, a venture capitalist fund focused on helping black women businesses. You may be asking the question, why is this important? Well, the judges who voted 2-1 were appointed by Donald Trump. I want you to know that conservative judges are working day and night to dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Beloved, we can sit up here and talk about Gaza all that we want, but if we're not focused on voting this coming November, there will not be any DEI. And all the advances that we have made will go out the door. So, beloved, this November, you must vote. And if you don't vote, then shut up. Peace.
Friend, I don't know if you heard about this Fearless Fund and their legal battle, but the federal court just appealed and blocked this grant specifically for black women entrepreneurs. Yeah. It's danger afoot. I know about the Fearless Fund, obviously, because I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a black woman. And the fund is literally there to help black women businesses that are seeking investments and financial backing. Same haters that was instrumental in destroying the provision of race-based diversity in the affirmative action are the people behind this entire lawsuit against the Fearless Fund. They were awarding small black-owned women businesses $20,000 in grants, which is monumental. What's wild is that this is not like, there are many of scholarships and grants that are specific for black people, black women, and you know how it goes. You know how it goes, man. Originally, the judge voted in favor of the Fearless Fund, and these hating ass haters went and asked for an appeal. In a 2-1 decision by the Atlanta-based 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, they have now blocked the program, writing that it is racially exclusionary and substantially likely to violate a federal law prohibiting racial discrimination in contracting. Literally, why aren't y'all just leaving us alone? Why can't y'all just leave us alone, for real? But this is a person or organization that is hell-bent on making sure that the advancements of black people that we have worked very hard to is just continuously undone. They were really strong in this case that helped take out vital component of the 1965 Voting Acts, right? Because controlling who votes and who gets access to money is how you control the people. Overall, I want to say that I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because finally now that black women are in a power position where they can financially help other black women gain financial stake within this country, it is now being worked on to dismantle. I don't really know what the next step is. We're just all waiting. If there are funds or petitions or whatever, I would love to have someone, like, if you have additional information about this. This article was posted on People of Color in Tech. It is a wonderful website, especially if you're looking for jobs and stuff too. They do have a job board, but you can read the full article. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. It's very interesting, and I am watching this story. But anyway, go make that money, friend. Friend, I don't know if you heard about this Fearless Fund and their legal battle. Hey friend, I'm back to say that the Federal Court of Appeals actually ruled that this Black woman-owned business is discriminating using their Fearless Fund. This Black woman organization that started their fund specifically to help empower and economically strengthen other Black women founders was found to be discriminating against others. A venture capital fund and a grant fund used to help economically stimulate Black women who are systemically underfunded in all aspects and areas of our lives was found to be discriminating against others. Using a case and statutes that were put in place to help protect and create equality for Black people. I want you to pay attention to what is happening. As soon as we get some money, they find a way to stop our bag. And that's all.
The Fearless Fund has been blocked from giving grants only to Black women in what's considered a victory for DEI critics and a major blow to the Black woman-owned venture capital firm. This lawsuit was filed by conservative activist Edward Bloom, whose group was also behind court cases that led to the Supreme Court striking down affirmative action in college admissions. Regarding the Fearless Fund, Bloom said, programs that exclude certain individuals because of their race are unjust and polarizing. Fearless Fund co-partners Arian Simone and Ayanna Parsons said they are evaluating their options. Their attorney said today's decision is not the final outcome. It is a preliminary ruling without a full factual record. Alfonso David said this is also the first court decision in post-Civil War civil rights law that has halted private charitable support for any racial or ethnic group. Fearless Fund was founded by Black women to back Black women who received less than 1% of the $215 billion in venture capital funding last year, according to USA Today. The firm has funded new companies like restaurant chain Slutty Vegan and the beauty brand Live Tinted. Arian Simone was honored at Black Enterprise's Disruptor Summit in May.
People are alleging that we are being discriminatory, and they are trying to make what we do day to day illegal. But do not worry, we will continue to be disruptors, we will continue to be disruptive, and we will continue to stand against this disruption.
Stay posted for the latest developments in this story at blackenterprise.com.
Last year, Black women received less than 1% of the $215 billion in venture capital funds available. Even with that being a fact, the appeals court still ruled that the Fearless Fund and grant and funding programs specifically for Black women is discriminatory. I just want to point out what the judges used to base their decision. They relied on an 1866 law that was designed to provide economic freedom to newly freed slaves. And it is based on this that they made the decision that charitable support or grants for any specific ethnic group is discriminatory. Dear Black women, despite this ruling that the Fearless Fund and its Strivers Grant for Black women is discriminatory, this was just handed down today. Despite all of this, we will not stop fighting for what we know is right. This is for every Black girl who has had a dream of starting a business. This is for every Black woman who has had a dream of starting a business. This is for every one of you who have been following me and following the updates of this since this battle started last year. Follow the Fearless Fund, show them support, and I will keep you guys updated. We have to make our hope louder than their hate.
So this is all I got from the stitches, and as you all can see, it's really been something that I think I reported something like this last year, because as at last year it was the lady took them to court, and the fact that this grant is something that black women were supposed to get, and as you all can see, they are not getting anything. And most of the business, like there is something that where there is this foundation black women have, where black women help black women or black people and every other people, like Asians and let's say Hispanics and all that. They also give them grants to start up business and all and the rest of it. But as we all can see, you all remember how affirmative action was struck out, right? It was because some of them thought black people were their problem. And you all know this was how it all started. Asians felt like black people were taking their place, and every other people also felt like, some of the things that they were supposed to get, that black people are the ones taking over and benefiting more out of it instead of them also benefiting. And the Asians decided to struck out affirmative action, which eventually happened, right? At first, why they were doing that, they thought it was going to affect us. Black people already told them. You all thought it's only black people that benefit from affirmative action, that we are actually the least. That palm color women were the major people. They were the major people benefiting from all this, right? But it was as if, we are preventing them from, should I say, attaining their goal or achieving their aim, or not getting to where they were supposed to get, because black women are always, or black people are always getting the real deal instead of them. And that was how the whole thing started. And now, what black women were supposed to get as grants, as at last year, I think they got only 1%, and this year it's already been blocked. Like, they cannot get anything out of it. And knowingly fully well how the whole thing started and the rest of it. And the fact that black women or black people most times, let me say black women most times, cannot get what they want, or they feel like there is no need giving us opportunity, or there is no need letting us lead or giving us that opportunity every other person or people are getting. I really don't know why this is happening. But I think it's also time, like the first lady that said that there is need for us, especially like, everybody really have to get up, stand on their toes, because this is like, how do I say that? This is no longer something that one person have to fight or do and all that. All hands must really be on deck, because you all can see that this, black women, the grants that they were using to like support people also to improve in their businesses and all that. You all already know that some certain things were absolutely blocked out. Black women or black people most especially cannot get loan because they are just not going to give you. That's why when you look around your neighborhood, why do they have other people setting up businesses and grants were given to them to set up all those businesses? But people that look like me cannot get that. And you think all these are normal. They are not normal. It is just a way they have set up to stop a particular people from moving forward, or from not achieving, or not reaching their aim or their goals and the rest of it. So this is all I have. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.